Says we're live. Says we're going live. Okay. And we are live. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Roundtable with the Stream Team. And this is where we speak to content creators about their journey of becoming a content creator and what they've built in their empire. So today we have the Saltiest Gamer here, or Salty Gaming, as everyone probably knows him on the interwebs, or every 5 minutes he changes his Twitter handle. Saltiest Gamer.
It's funny.
How are you, my man?
It's funny, man. Yeah, you're not the first person to say that. Twitter's one of those places for me that I like to stretch my legs creatively. So sometimes I'll throw some different pictures there for my Twitter avatar and then change the name and change it up. You never know what you're going to get. Lots of memes, lots of GIFs, all kinds of good stuff.
Fantastic.
Yep.
I'm happy that you were able to come here. I know that you and I, when we had a little back and forth with me trying to come onto your podcast, I'm happy that I was able to do it. And I said I had to get you on. So thank you for joining us today. Now we have two other of the Stream Team members here today. We have MJ as the boss. He is back from college, or still in the middle of college?
I'm still in the middle.
Still in the middle? How much longer you got?
Like 2 weeks.
2 weeks? Are you counting down the minutes?
No.
No? I'd be counting them down. I'd want them over and done.
Finals.
Oh, then you have finals? Oh.
No, I have a week and then it's finals week.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, 2 weeks, and then you get to go home, and then you get to, sleep until whenever, and you're good to go. So, you get to finally catch up with some games like Destiny and Gears and things like that. So, yeah. Well, I'm happy that you were able to, finally make it back,
Good to be back.
Great. And we have El Boogie. She's here.
Sup.
What's up?
How's everybody doing tonight?
We're good. How are you doing?
I'm pretty good. I was hit in the face this morning when I had to go to work, after the long weekend.
Oh, isn't it fantastic having that nice 4-day weekend?
Yeah. Mine was kind of 5 days because everybody was basically already out of the office on Wednesday, so I just worked from home.
Oh, nice. I always take off the 3 days before Thanksgiving. So I
then
was
you're
off.
super, see?
Yeah, so today I was just like, oh no.
Right?
Oh, it's the worst. I was like, I guess I gotta go to work. So
at least you didn't have to get another being ready.
What was that?
At least you didn't have to get another being ready. Like I had to get my kid ready.
Oh no. Oh, yes. Thankfully I didn't have to do that. So hello, Club Gaming, and welcome, good sir. Thank you for the hello. So while we are all here, we are here to speak to the Saltiest Gaming. How are you? What's going on? And tell us why you wanted to become a content creator.
Okay, where do I start, man?
Start from the beginning. Like why you decided to do it. So,
are you guys getting some feedback, or is it just me?
Yeah, L.
It's me. Hold on.
Okay. All right. So, what was the question again?
Start from the beginning. Why did you become a content creator? Why did you what kind of prompted you to want to do it?
Okay. Yeah. All right. So, my wife actually started doing stuff with my daughter. They did this thing called Kenzie Adventures. My daughter has autism and stuff like that. So they went out and did some video recording. She started doing YouTube. She's like, hey, how come, you don't do YouTube? You're always talking about gaming and this and that. I don't understand anything you're saying, because she's not really that big into gaming, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I don't know, man. It takes all this and that. And I didn't even know where to begin, so. But she's like, yeah, just do it. So I put it off for the longest time, years. And then all of a sudden, I had a piece of crap laptop, and I didn't even start on the laptop. Actually, I did Upload Studio on Xbox, if you guys are familiar with that piece of crap. Started doing videos on there. It was around E3 2017, right before it. Did a video, and then I did a podcast with my buddies. It was called Dads of Gaming Podcast. I think we had one person maybe in there. We did it midnight on Arizona time or something like that. We didn't know what we were doing. And then it went from there, man. I just didn't know what I was doing like everybody else on YouTube, and it just kind of grew into what it is now. But it's been lots of work, but it's stuff that I didn't imagine myself doing, but it's stuff that I love. I love gaming. I love talking about gaming and all things like that. And the ability to meet people across the world, that share your same passion is amazing for me. So that's why I do it, is to the community aspect and getting to know people and stuff like that, and sharing my passion with others.
So like you've been doing this for how long? How long have you been working as a content creator?
2017 summer, June, I think, May, something like that.
So June's when you started that dad podcast, really?
Yeah.
And the editing and stuff like that, you ended up doing on your own, or was it just like straight conversation, or someone else took care of it, or?
All right, so the podcast has never been edited. It's just Google Hangouts like we're doing here. With videos, I did Upload Studios, and it was no editing whatsoever. It was me getting on the mic. I would literally sat down on my couch, had the Upload Studio was crap, dude. Like, honestly, like, I don't even know how I did it, because it had a bunch of glitches, and sometimes I'd lose my work that I put effort into. But it was straight one take, I said and like, and it just wasn't that professional. But I guess people still watched it or whatever, for whatever reason. And then it just went from there, trying to make improvements, right? I went and I switched to my my laptop, which was a piece of crap, and it barely. And then I had Premiere Elements, and it glitched out all the time. And then it's just small improvements. Like, I got a better mic, and then I try to do this and that, try to edit my videos, and try to make better quality videos, because it's always a process on YouTube. You can't stay stagnant. You got to find the areas you're weak and then keep improving. Social media is a big part of what I do. When I started my Twitter, I made it a point to be active in the community. So in other people's chats, and on social media, following people, making friends there and stuff, because it's difficult on YouTube to get noticed in YouTube gaming, especially because there's millions of people doing the same things, so
yeah,
it's tough.
It's the whole content creator realm, if you will. It's almost like you are literally a drop of water in an ocean. And,
it is.
And what I always like to call it, it's like being in the lotto and then not winning it, but winning it twice. Because like you almost have to win for people to find you, and then win again to be so popular to survive on it. So it's like almost like you have to almost like go through it twice.
With content creation, people don't understand how difficult it is, because people think, well, once you get successful videos or you get subscribers, then you're set, right? No, that's not really how it works, because Google is always changing the algorithms. And if you don't stay up to date on how it works, how the changes are, you'll get left behind. You'll stop getting views. You stop getting this and that. And that's the big thing, because people are always saying, how do I get views on YouTube? Well, it's not an exact science, because trust me, I've watched all the videos on, all the videos on how to improve your thumbnails and your titles and your descriptions and your keywords. I mean, I think it's like flipping a coin half the time with the algorithm with YouTube, so but it's important when you're starting off to interact with people on social media, in my opinion, because YouTube's a social media platform. It's run by Google. Twitter is a big social media platform, but in order to stand out, and you said in that ocean, you gotta make friends. I don't know, you gotta start talking to people or get in the chat and try to do it that way, I guess.
Right. Do you feel like social media and networking is more important than your content that you produce?
In the beginning, I would say it is, because realistically, in this environment of YouTube, to stand out without doing social media, I think it's almost nearly impossible, because it's tough. It's kind of like applying for a job and they ask you for work experience and you don't have that work experience, right? Because you just got out of college. You're like, well, how am I supposed to get work experience in this field that I'm trying to get a job in? It's kind of a catch-22. That's the thing with YouTube, because you're trying to get in the algorithm, you're trying to get views without subscribers when you're first starting off. So how do you get subscribers if you don't have the views, et cetera, et cetera? It goes around in circles. But if you can be on social media and kind of get your presence out there, then maybe if you put a post on Twitter or Facebook, maybe you'll get some people to come back, start watching your videos, subscribing and stuff like that. That's just my opinion. Some people might not have that viewpoint on it, but I think that social media is very important.
The podcast that I was on, the Saltiest Gaming podcast, do you push that out just to YouTube, or do you push it out to other platforms also?
All right, so I've been asked this a lot for the podcast. So at this moment, I do not put it on other platforms, and there's reasons for that. When you tell people that you're on other podcast arenas, that's cool if you're trying to get people to go to those things. But anytime you link off platform, so off YouTube, you're pulling your audience out of watching your videos on YouTube. So if I'm telling people I'm on other platforms, they'll go and watch it there instead of watching on YouTube. And YouTube's what I'm trying to build up right now. So that's why I don't do it at this point. I mean, if I get bigger and bigger where I'm okay with it. Plus you got to pay for, all this other stuff like hosting it and all that other stuff. Maybe down the line I will do that. But at this moment, I've talked to some people that have been doing it and they didn't recommend it, so.
Yeah. Now you only have the one podcast, correct?
Yeah, at this moment, because it's just, before I did multiple ones. I did one with Boom. I did, what was it? Gaming News at Noon. I did that. I've done multiple shows. I've done live reactions and stuff, but right now we're at one. So Thursdays at 8. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel like that's more than enough for your channel to grow? Because I see it consistently having growth, which is always like a positive.
Yeah. So the interesting, I've had this discussion with Rand and some other people on YouTube. So the way YouTube works is it has algorithms, right? You do certain things on your channel, and it's supposed to track you and rank you and search for what you do. So if you have live streams on your channel, then it puts you in a certain category. If you do traditional videos, then it's going to track you for certain things. Like if I do Nintendo, it will probably try to put me into Nintendo. People that watch Nintendo products or content. If I do live streams, they'll try to push you towards those people that watch that content. So you're not growth through traditional podcasts only, like on YouTube, is kind of tough, because if you look at podcasts that are 2 hours long, generally they get about the same views. They average about the same views. You're not going to pull in a lot of subscribers just doing podcasts, because that's not the way YouTube works. They like to push out videos that are within a certain length. I think max length is like 25 minutes to be able to track in the algorithm. So typically you're not going to have podcasts track for algorithm at all. Very little, So if you're trying to get more subs, it's not the best way to do that by just doing live streams, if that makes sense. Because you can still get views, but to get new stuff like subs, brand new people that have never watched your content, it is traditionally harder to build that way. Yeah, if that makes sense. So
unless you get somebody to promote you.
Yeah. Because there's big people out there like Joe Rogan, right? He's getting millions of views on his podcasts, So it's different at that way. So that's at least from what I've talked to on people on the outside, right? You look at your analytics, because they have a really good,
they do.
In the analytics section, it breaks it down, like how many people are watching your video, how many, like the reach, right? They put your content out to a certain amount of new people. the click-through rate, how many people are clicking on your thumbnails, how many new subscribers you get from those videos. You can break down everything. So you can see how many subscribers you're getting per video or per podcast. It's right there in front of you because YouTube tracks everything, you know. So
yeah, well, that's the thing that like we here have noticed that it's turned into, you know, having to check for the analytics. You have to check for your content. You have to check your keywords. It seems like there's a million different variables to allow you to be more noticed, and that's the one thing that I know that like I myself and the other guys they end up saying is that they want to make sure to be seen. That's why we go to a lot of different conventions and things like that, because we like to be able to communicate. And like I always walk with my business cards now. And just this weekend, I was just walking in Trader Joe's and some dude saw me with my Twitch hoodie on, and it was like, "Hey, you play Twitch?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do. I have a podcast, and this is another podcast." And I get handed my business cards, and it's come to the point now where I'm just I have a habit of that. And what about like going to conventions? Like that, we go to conventions and we are always talking to people and doing that. Do you think that is a helpful way for your growth for your channel?
It's definitely something that I need to do. I was trying to get to E3 last year, but then I had my baby. Just my baby was born in July and they had E3 in June. So I was planning on going, but things came up. But this year I'm planning on going. E3, PAX, all those things I think are very, very, very useful for content creators because you make connections, and that's what we've been talking about, right? Connections, building friendships and all kinds of different things, right? So if you're in a convention like that, you have a chance of meeting with people that you could bring on potentially for interviews, or the sky's the limit. And I think that getting your name out there to gamers that are there, like those are the hardest core gamers you could find, right? Because they're at those conventions. So I think that like passing your cards around, doing giveaways there, and doing some other stuff to get your name out, I think that's an extremely very, very good way to do it, you know, if you have the resources to get to those events. I just haven't done it yet.
How has having your child like changed your kids, I should say, in your family? How has it changed your whole outlook of gaming and being able to continue to make content?
It's changed my outlook a lot because I was doing this originally with one kid, and it just kind of threw my whole content creation off the tilt of axis. Like, very demoralizing, to be honest, because I love having a baby, but having a newborn baby, it just changes everything, schedules, and all kinds of other stuff going on. I actually had to leave gaming news at noon because schedules were changing and life changes. And it's not just my baby, it's just everything, right? We have our lives going on, everything that we have, our personal lives and stuff. So it's tough to stay consistent with content creation, streaming on Twitch or making videos or doing any of that stuff, because you have to remain consistent to be able to have your subscribers stick around or your viewers want to like build a community with you. And that's very difficult if you have a kid and you have a wife or you have a husband or you have a partner, because it does take time away, right? You have to have someone that's understanding of that and it's like cool with what you do, or it could cause friction there. Luckily my wife's cool. She supports me and stuff like that, but it is tough, right? Because you gotta like squeeze in time. Like today when I made my video, I was surprised I even got it out because I had to get my kid ready for school. I was like drinking my coffee and we were feeding the baby, and I was doing audio recordings in between the spare moments that I had, you know, and then push the video out. And, you know, some people don't have any of that, right? They don't have kids or significant other, and they can make a video on the fly when the news comes out. And that's kind of super advantageous, right? To get pushed, but you got to do what you got to do, right? With what you have. So.
Exactly. Elle, do you agree with what Salty's saying?
For sure. Like, even when I was about to start, like, my mom thinks this is like such dorkiness, so she's always like cracking jokes and stuff, but she's gotten better, like from when I first started for sure. Because before she would like plan stuff when I told her I'd be busy doing this type of stuff. And now it's just like easier. My kid, she loves this stuff. She would probably be in here talking with you guys if I let her. But yeah, it's always juggling, you know, when you have a family.
Yeah, definitely. MJ, how's it been for you with the whole changing with, you know, with school? Because, you know, I know that you've been kind of crazy busy with stuff too.
I haven't had time to do anything.
Yeah, you like your whole, well, you can consider all your fraternity brothers, you know, family, if you will. Yeah. So like once you started doing that process, like you were MIA for weeks.
Yep.
And like, you know, for you and I, like I know that we usually text like every couple of days, and like I think I texted you or spoke to you maybe twice in 3 or 4 weeks, and I was like, all right, as long as he's breathing and not like, you know, half dead in a quarter drunk at the fraternity house, you know, we're good. So, but
yeah.
So so just something to kind of come back, Salty. Now I noticed that you started streaming on Twitch, correct? So why was there that decision to go onto Twitch instead of Mixer, or why was it that was the platform that you decided on?
All right, so it was a big decision for me because originally when I started streaming, I was doing YouTube, but then YouTube's just not a viable platform to stream games. They cut. All right, so YouTube was trying to compete with Twitch with YouTube Gaming. They had this whole side application that no one used, and they just canned that. That project got canned. They demonetize people regularly. Like if you have music in a game that's just any kind of music, you'll get your stream demonetized, right? The whole stream will get demonetized. Like I'll be streaming for like 4 hours or 3 hours and look at the stream and it's demonetized. I'm like, man, this is like, I'm tired of this, you know, like putting time and effort into it, and then it's just not worth it. So I decided, hey, I need to take my game streaming specifically off platform to one of these other two. I looked into Mixer, honestly. I was thinking maybe, but I had my PlayStation and I don't have the setup right now with OBS or all that other fancy stuff right now. So I had to stream directly from the PlayStation, and that doesn't go to Mixer, you know? Oh, okay. So if I wanted to stream, you know, both systems, Twitch was the only place I could do it. So that's why I decided to go with them. Plus their affiliate program, I like that. I like the idea of like what it took to get into that, and they're actually improving on that. And I think they're thinking about giving affiliates the ability to gain revenue off of ads. I got an email about that, but
yeah. So I know that like I myself, I stream on Twitch Monday to Friday. I know Elle, she's on Mixer usually Monday through Friday or Monday to Thursday or something like that. And MJ, I know, is on Twitch also. So the whole process for the ad revenue on the ads, it's you roll enough ads to pretty much produce money. But you have to do it like it's like almost every half hour or every hour. You have to roll an ad, like a 2-minute ad, and then
you have to do it yourself or what?
You can do it yourself. You also, every single time you have a person come into your channel who is not a sub, they get an ad. So the more, which kind of, it works to your benefit. So if you're a larger streamer, all right, and as I like to call it, there's an old newspaper term called above the fold. If you're high enough on that list of streamers that you have a huge amount of people coming into your channel, that will decrease the amount of number you need to produce revenue. After you break that threshold, excuse me, after you break that threshold, you start making more money off of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I so the thing with Twitch, like I like a lot of the things that they're doing, right? I like the affiliate program. I like how they send you emails about your average viewers, new
Yeah.
people coming in, subscribers, all that other stuff. It's accessible. I feel like they're listening about the smaller time channels trying to get noticed and stuff, because they've changed the layout with Twitch. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but you can make it so where, like, when you're searching for games, you can make it like where it's like randomized. It's not like from high to low. It would be like recommended and stuff like that. I didn't even know that was on. And then I was like scrolling through the games list, and I was like, well, why is someone with like 15 people watching at the top of the list for one of these popular games? And it's just the way it's sent out there, and the fact that affiliates can actually get ad revenue or subscribers is cool. There's the Twitch Prime thing. So people are more willing to do that, plus the bits, they can donate bits. It is pretty ridiculous, the requirements for partner, though. I have to say that.
So there's a couple of inside information from what I've conversed with partners about, but the when you get to partner, you don't actually need to produce that threshold. It depends upon your gaming percentage. I know people that do not have 75 viewers in their channel, to produce that average to get that path to partner status, if you will, and they got partnered. It's based pretty much on the channel itself and what you're consistently streaming. These people were consistently streaming sports games, so during that sports game, it was kind of on the lesser end, so it was kind of like he was able to get in. I do know that some people they're streaming games like World of Warcraft, which has a huge following. People have hundreds of viewers a day from that. It's kind of a little bit harder to end up to getting to and to get through to that. But still, you only need that 75 threshold, and then you're good to go. You get that partner, and you're good. But I mean, I've been on Twitch maybe 4 or 5 years. I've only really been going hardcore for it over the past 3. And I was able to make that affiliate threshold when they announced it, and they've actually, really evolved it and made it a lot better. For instance, now we can have more than one emote for a tier 1 sub, which is a big deal in my book, because they're not going to sub to your channel for one emote, where some people, if they come to your channel, they love your emotes, they'll just sub for the emotes. But those are the people that have huge followings. But I personally enjoy what they're doing for that. But Elle, is there something similar on Mixer for like that?
So now we have Embers for all for everyone. So like I monetize on my channel. I'm able to monetize on my channel. What is it called? I can't remember how much it is, what the percentage of the Embers is. I know that like on Twitch, it's like the person's buying $15 and you're getting $10 and Twitch is getting $5. But so I don't know how that breakdown is for Mixer, but yeah, I'm able to monetize now. They open that up for everybody, but like I'm not able to like clip stuff. Like partners can clip stuff, which I hate. I put something into my stream deck, but I haven't been playing around with it. I'm usually forget to do it. So it's kind of nice that on Twitch, like anybody can clip stuff for you. Anybody that's viewing your channel can clip stuff for you. What was I gonna say? And I don't know if they've rolled out the Embers for all to everyone yet or not, but hopefully that's coming soon to allow everyone to monetize, no matter if they're partnered or not.
Does Mixer have the ability like Twitch has for the app on your phone to be able to go IRL, walking around with your phone?
IRL, what do you mean?
So one of the things with Twitch, the app on the cell phone, you can actually go to your to your Twitch application on your phone, and then there's a thing that says go live, and you can actually go live from your phone. Like if you want to be on the street and be like, yo, I'm down here in the mall hanging out with my homies and we're good. So,
I think you can on Android, but they still haven't brought that over to Apple.
Oh, okay. I was just curious. It was just one of those things.
It's been a while too. So like, I wish Mixer did more with Apple.
Okay.
Which whenever I say that, people are like, oh, they do this, they do that, and da 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 da. Great. I'm so happy. But they're not even. So unless they're even, then I still want you to do more.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Uh, so going back to Salty with the streaming on Twitch, I have been lurking in your channel once in a blue moon. I don't know if you've seen me or not, but I've seen you play 2 games. One which I will get very excited about, but the other one was Uncharted. Did you never play the Uncharted series before?
No, I didn't, man. So my history with things, and Cray Simmons, shout out to him because he's salty right now. But the deal is like I got a PlayStation like 4 months ago, 5 months ago, right? And before that, I was an Xbox gamer, and I had a Nintendo. And I've told people this, like I had Nintendo's Super Nintendo, Nintendo original 64, and then I got in the Xbox ecosystem, and I was pretty much set. You know what I'm saying? Xbox original 360. Xbox One, Xbox One X, and then I've been wanting to play PlayStation games for a while, just never have done it. And then this generation, the thing that was the tipping point was God of War. I saw that game, I was like, dude, I got to get that PlayStation with Spider-Man and all those games. I wanted to play them. It's just I didn't know if I had the time, and it's just extra money and all this other stuff. So yeah, Uncharted was up there. Is it my favorite type of game? Is Tomb Raider my favorite type of game? No. But do I enjoy the hell out of it? Yeah. But it is the first time I'm experiencing the Uncharted series.
Nathan Drake.
Yeah, I did. I bought the Nathan Drake collection too. I have it. I bought it for $10. So
Nice. Yeah, because I personally have never played it. I do not own a PlayStation. I do know that my brother played the originals on the PS3, and he loved them, and he's like, you gotta play them. And I was like, let me borrow your PlayStation 3. And he's like, nothing will work because the CD-ROM doesn't work. And I was like, I hate you. So but unfortunately, I'm still I'm hoping that with the PS5 being backwards compat, maybe it's an option for me to get that, and I'll be able to pull out all my old PS1 and PS2 games and play those, because I have the old Final Fantasy Tactics and Final Fantasy 7 and all those still original discs, perfect condition in my boxes upstairs, and I want to play those. But one of the games that a lot of us here have played, Fallen Order, how amazing is that for you?
it's awesome, man. I streamed that game. I'm one of the biggest Star Wars fans out there. Honestly, I could talk your ear off for 4 hours. If we were doing a podcast on Star Wars, I could talk for as long as I needed to, right? But that game has its issues, right? I mean, I feel like it was rushed out a little bit, like 6 months too early. It has some bugs, has some wonkiness to it, and people are saying it's like a mixture of Uncharted, which it is, man. Now, like playing Uncharted now and like seeing what that game had and what it took from Uncharted, like the sliding and the climbing and the ropes and this and that. That's fine. I've talked to people about that, like. Entertainment, you pull from all kinds of different things, right? You get inspiration from great games, and Uncharted is a great game. So I don't blame Respawn for doing that. I feel like they're like, hey, I love this game, and I love this game, and I love this game. Cool, let's jam that all together and make a conglomerate into one badass game, like a badass Star Wars game. And I think it's awesome. We've never had a Star Wars game that was like Dark Souls, where you have checkpoints and the fighting feels so smooth. It feels like I'm actually, using a lightsaber. So it's my game of the year, 2019. I know it has its issues, but on the fun factor and the story, for me as a Star Wars fan, there's nothing that even comes close, because I'm kind of like starving for content as a Star Wars fan. I want to get more content. I want to hear more stories that are in the canon. So the ability to go and see those things after Order 66 is like a dream come true for me. And I sound like a fanboy. I sound like one of those Kojima stands that's playing Death Stranding or something.
No, you are not, because I know that you have. I myself, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and I'm pretty sure you're a big Star Wars fan also, because you used to live.
Yep.
You used to live in Galaxy's Edge over when you were living in California. Have you finished Fallen Order yet, or no?
No, I'm pretty close. Right now I'm on the Wiki planet for the second time, and it's like gross and weird and hard, so I've just kind of been like, I'm gonna wait.
I'm gonna ask one question, and it's not a spoiler to anything. Did you go through the arena yet?
Oh yeah, it took me a couple of hours to beat, a couple of hours one night, then getting frustrated,
You played
and
it
then
on
coming
night?
back the next. No, I did it in 2 days. So like, I did it for a couple hours, got frustrated, got off, waited a couple of days, came back, and then I beat it.
So you're still playing it on not the top level, not like is it
Yeah, Jedi
legendary?
Master, not
Yeah,
Grandmaster.
yeah,
Oh
yeah, yeah.
shit.
Yeah, I
Okay.
played it on Master also, and I
It was a
made
bitch.
it.
That arena was a bitch.
Yeah, I made it my job to make sure that I'm always streaming when I'm playing that game.
Mm-hmm.
So one day last week, my wife passed out in the bed, and I was streaming it, and I literally started it at 11 o'clock. And I said to myself, if I go to bed without completing this, I'm never going to be able to complete this because I'm just going to lose my groove. So I just pushed and pushed, and then I finally finished it up around 1:30, and I was like, all right, cool, got it done. I don't have to worry about this anymore. But
No, see, I think it was nice that I like came back refreshed because then it was like I already knew what I needed to do, and then like it was easier to get into the groove real quick and then get them done. And then it also helped because I was streaming too. And shout out to Bloody Knuckles because he came through and he was like, "Do the trick with the spider," which I totally forgot, even though I knew it from E3.
which one?
So if you block when the spiders put their hands up right at the right time, then you get to do an insta kill on them.
Yep.
So at the end of the arena, when you got those two big monsters,
Yep.
if you get rid of the spider quick, then you're like good to go.
What
And then I found out later that they were like, I should have had an extra stim pack because on Kashyyyk, you could have gotten 2 stim packs there, and then
Really?
another one, yeah.
Yep.
And then
So-
there's 2 on the Wookiee planet too.
So how many stims
So I
did you
have 4 now. You can get a max of 5.
Okay, because I'm running with 3.
Okay, yeah, that's how I was
Yeah.
running through that, and it was annoying. But I just got my 4th one. It's when you go through the second one on the Wookiee planet is when you're in the gross part.
All right, I'm gonna have to go back and I'm gonna have to go through it all.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, I ended up doing. It was actually pretty weird how I ended up doing it with the 2 bosses. I actually I focused on the spider, and every time the spider ended up throwing out its webs, I targeted the other guy. I slowed him, and then I like darted over to the spider. I did a couple of moves, and then I just jumped back, and I kind of just was kiting him around the room, and I did that, and that's why it probably took me so long. I didn't know about the blocking to do the insta kill, but like I ended up doing. That's how I ended up doing it. I kind of kept going and going and going, and that's why it took me so long.
Quick work after the insta kill.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. So did you have problems with that, Salty?
So I have to give you my background. I'm a huge Dark Souls fan.
You're crazy. Now I know why you're crazy.
Yeah. So I'm used to the punishment, if that makes sense. Like I feel like this game it's difficult, but there's I've
call
just
it a Dark Souls light.
Yeah, it's a light version, trust me, because there's sometimes, and I played Ashen, I played Bloodborne, all the Dark Souls. The only game really that I haven't played is Demon Souls, and I plan on playing that because I know for a fact that Blue Point Games is making a remake for the PlayStation 5. So that's still on the list, but I played Ashen, beat that. Any game that's like a Dark Souls game, I'll try it. Even the Surge that was wonky and crappy, I beat that. So that just tells you where I'm at with these games, you know? I enjoy the challenge. Like, no matter how hard a boss is, like Sekiro. I don't know how many times I died to the last boss. That boss fight, trust me, is one of the the hardest boss fights I've ever done, because there's like 4 stages, or I think it's 3 or 4. But it is ball crushingly hard, dude. It is so hard. Like that, I was at it for days, and I felt like I was just like, man, this might be the first game I don't finish, because it's just crazy. But I ended up beating it, and it's crazy. It's good. I'm not going to spoil it for you guys, but the last boss fight is very, very good.
Good.
I'm surprised that like I said, I think it's fantastic, and you guys got to give Respawn so much props for making a melee combat game like this, where they have no previous works, and to knock it out the park. This game is so smooth from a combat standpoint, it actually boggles my mind.
Two questions. One's a statement, one's a question. I agree. I think Respawn did a fabulous job. I hope that they end up continuing to getting more Star Wars IPs, and Disney ends up asking them to produce more, and that would be fantastic. What difficulty were you playing it on?
I have to go check. I think it was Master, right? That's not the hardest.
There's Jedi Master and then Grandmaster.
Yeah, I was definitely not playing it on the hardest.
Yeah.
But I will, because what I do with these games, especially that have difficulties like this, I like to play it and then run through it and then put it up on a harder difficulty. But if you put it on the max to begin with, then I don't have an ability to go back and play it. Like, especially with a game like this, I want to go start fresh, knowing where all the pickups are and stuff, and just go experience the game on a harder difficulty. So I'll be playing through it again.
Oh, excellent. Now you enjoy playing those types of those games. It seems like the Dark Souls games. Like, what's your genre of choice? Which do you like to play? Like the story driven games? Do you like to play which ones? Like MMOs? Strategies?
So, man, my game choice, my favorite type of game is kind of evolved, because it feels like the older I get, it's changing. Because when I got into gaming and just kind of got hardcore into it, I was big into multiplayer, like COD and stuff like that. I played Black Ops, COD, mainly a big COD player with my friends, and we'd always get on and stuff. But it was a lot easier to do that before I had kids and a wife and all this other stuff. So I feel like I'm changing my desires, my likes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I don't know. I feel like I enjoy the single player experience a lot more than I did, because it's easier to do that. Like, if it's late at night, I don't have to worry about getting my buddies on to go play some games and stuff. And I'm enjoying the narratives of these single player games, and especially like streaming now. I just like interacting with the chat more when you're going through a story. So that's changed my perspective. But if I had to say what genre I enjoy the most, it's got to be the Soulsborne genre. Like, I eat, sleep, and breathe that stuff. Like, if any of those games, I'll play and beat them. So
yeah, that's like me. I've never played the Dark Souls type series before. I've never played any Dark Souls. I never played Sekiro. I've never played any of those. The closest thing is Star Wars for me. I did play a little bit of Ashen prior to us having the developer on and that it gave me a lot of frustrations, because it's definitely not my genre of game to play. But now that I've been playing Star Wars, it might be something that I might go back and take a look into playing some more of. So yes. So do you end up playing like couch co-op games with your family at all? Does anybody else play?
Funny thing is so my wife barely plays. She plays, like, it depends on the games. Like, Hello Neighbor, I think, is the game. She played what was that farm game? I don't know. She picks and chooses which game she likes. But my daughter, she's 6 years old, almost 7. She's, ever since she was like super young, she's just had she wanted to play video games. So she's been playing all kinds of stuff like Slime Rancher. She's big into Roblox now. She's played some Fortnite. She's definitely a gamer. Like, if anybody that's following my path, it's my daughter. So she's big into that. So yeah, we'll play together, and then we have the Switch, so we'll play those games. We're gonna be getting Luigi's Mansion for her for Halloween. I mean, Halloween, for Christmas. It's a Halloween game.
I know what you meant.
We'll play that together and stuff like that. The Switch is really good for like family type games and stuff, like playing together. So.
Yeah, I want to pick up something for my niece, because I can tell that she's got that little gamer in her, and her parents are trying to hold her back. So I'm gonna
Yeah,
I'm gonna try to do something. I'm gonna try to
we
get her
foster.
Yeah.
Foster that
Yeah.
that desire.
Yeah,
I get
because
it.
every time she comes over, I'm like, "Hey Emma, I want you to play this game and tell me your opinion." And I put her in my computer chair, and I'm like, "This is what you have to do." And she's like, "Okay," and then she'll end up playing. And like, I know that there's this game called I think it's Nanotyper, where you have to type words to kill creatures and stuff. So I was like, "Here you go." I'm like, "Emma, you got to type those words." And she's like, "Okay," and she'll type them, and it's so adorable, and it worked out so well. It was so cool. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely have to do something for her there.
The funny thing about gamers and any kind of like you pick up things you like, it's not something that you can just like force upon people or even change. Because like my dad had this weird excuse for not having a gaming system in the house. He said it would like wreck our TV. So I ended up having to like get my own stuff. My dad's not even into sports, and I love sports. My dad could care less about video games, so it's not like a for sure thing that your kids are going to love video games or anything that you like. So the fact that my daughter just gravitated towards that was like crazy for me, you know.
That's good. That's real good.
Yeah.
I just something just popped in my head, and I wanted to ask you before about your podcast. When you do your podcast, you do something kind of very unique, as from what I've seen. That is all of the pop-ups. So when did you start doing your pop-ups while you were doing your podcast, and why did you decide to do those, and like why did you decide those specific memes and pop-ups, because I noticed that they're the same ones that you use over and over and over again.
I try to add to those, but it's like a time issue. I guess it's part of a lazy issue too, but ever since I got OBS, I've been wanting to do different things with the stream, you know. Eventually maybe we'll put gameplay in there. I just wanted to do something different, and I gravitate towards memes and comedy and not taking things too seriously, because a lot of people just take it too, you know, gaming and all this other stuff just too seriously. Like life's too short to not laugh and stuff. So a lot of times I'll be putting memes up there or gifs that don't even make sense, and they're just funny to me, so I'll pop it up there, or someone says something and I'll try to put a reaction to it. It's just, it kind of just cuts the time for people, because like I like to see the reaction from the chat. They'll be like, "Oh shit, look, you see that? Oh, that was funny." Or like, "Wow, what was that?" You know what I'm saying? It's just I don't know. It's different for me. So I like doing it.
I found it funny when we were on the podcast, and you were putting pictures of Kojima up, and you were picking his nose and stuff, because I'm just sitting there shaking my head throughout the whole entire conversation, and I was just,
like
I will admit I tried to jump in once to try to diffuse the situation, and then I just got knocked down real quick. I was just like, I'm done. I'm walking away. But it was a fantastic conversation. Now, who on the podcast would you say is a recurring person, and where did you end up finding them?
So like panel members?
Yeah, your panel members.
All right, so Centurion, where did I find him? He was doing TXR, I believe. I just, you know, watched that, and I liked his takes and stuff like that. So then we got him on, and then I asked him to be a panel member. And then BitCloud, I think I saw him on Boom's channel, and then I watched his stuff, and then same things there. Had him on. It's about, you know, clicking with the other people. It's kind of like a family thing or whatever, just to kind of have that energy on the stream. It's tough to, we kind of went through an influx of change all at once, but doing this for so long, for like years, 2 years, people have personal lives. They go in and out. Sometimes they can do it. Sometimes they got to leave. That's all understandable. And then sometimes you'll be lighter on panel members, or sometimes you'll go heavy. But then you try to fill with guests. But yeah, that's usually how it works out. You just get people to guest, and if they click, then, you know, get them on.
I mean, you, like I was saying before, you and I, like, we went back and forth for about a month. With me trying to come on, and it was horrible. And then I was like, all right, finally, I'm like, yes, I could be on the channel. And then you messaged me like, we have too many panel members. And I was just like, I'm like, I've canceled enough on you. I'm fine. I'll be there next week. And it actually worked out pretty nicely to be that way. And I had a lot of fun doing that, and it was great. So I'm sorry. Go ahead. So just
No,
so
it was
just
awesome.
those, yeah, it was definitely awesome. So it's just those other people. It's just those two people.
Yeah, for right now, it's just us three.
Yeah.
Trying to get like 2 guests a week until I figure out, I think 4 panel members is good, including myself. Because if you get too many people on there plus guests, it just kind of people don't have enough time to talk.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the other thing. I like you have like a 2-hour podcast, and that's approximately what you do. And like I know like the guys, they go between 2 hours to 3 hours. I'm just like, that is a really long time to sit there and talk. I mean, when we were kind of discussing this, we were like, all right, well, how are we gonna do this? How long do you think? And I was like, an hour ish. We'll go a little over, a little kind of so. Because like I want to talk to you, I want to get information out of you, and we want to talk to you about stuff, and like we don't want to be like feeling like this is us drilling you with questions and talking about stuff.
No. Here's the deal. I love podcasting. Like if I could do it schedule wise, I could do it every day. If I
like Boomstick.
Because yeah. Like I could talk for. If I needed to, if the Saltiest Gaming podcast had no panel members, no guests, I feel like I could talk for 2 hours pretty easily, So it's just one of those things where I like gaming and I could talk about it as much as I need to or whatever. It's not a forced thing. And, I just like doing it. Yeah. That's why I do it,
Yeah. So. It's fantastic. MJ, did you happen to have any questions?
I did not.
You don't. You're good.
No.
You're okay.
Yep.
You Red Bulling. You good?
No.
He's been getting destroyed with his finals and stuff. So, Elle, what about you? Do you have any questions you can think of?
The only thing I was gonna ask is like, what would you say to people about like staying genuine? Because so many people like.
Yeah,
they just constantly flip flop,
No,
and you can tell that they're doing it just for clicks.
Yep. All right, so this is big for me because I don't know. Lots of people will say what they want to say about you, and I've learned of that on social media. There's a lot of people that just want to hate, just to hate or whatever. I know for a fact that I don't get as many views as I could get if I was putting on a shtick or pandering to one audience or another, because plain and simple, a lot of times in YouTube, if you want to get the views, then you have to pander to an audience. It's like in gaming. You have PlayStation hardcore people or Xbox hardcore people. They want to hear everything that they want to hear, right? They want to hear the positives about their platform, and they want to hear the negatives about the other platform. And then if you deviate outside of that, you'll get people calling you a pony one day and then calling you an X-bot the next day. And that actually happened on my channel today. I did an Xbox video. I said everything just like I've always done on my channel. I just give my opinions and I just tell it how I feel. It's my opinion. I'm not flip-flopping for views or any of that. It's just going with the flow. If I have something negative to say about Xbox, I'll say it. If I have something negative to say about PlayStation or Nintendo or whatever, or something positive, I'll say that. And a lot of times the polar opposite ends of the spectrum, they don't like that. So they'll unsub from you, block you, unfollow you, call you a flip-flopper, say you're doing it for views, whatever, because they don't get it. They're not used to hearing that because they get these corporate shills that tell them everything that they want to hear. It's kind of like politicians. If you get with a certain group, they tell you everything that you want to hear, not necessarily what you need to hear. So yeah, it ruffles some feathers, but yeah, staying true to yourself, that's more important to me in the long run, because I couldn't put on a shtick or, pander to a certain audience and be happy about what I'm doing, So for the good or the bad, I understand it's not for everybody, but I think it's important in the long run if you want to continue to do it, because if you're not being true to yourself, you're not going to want to keep doing this stuff. Trust me, So.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest problems right now is that everybody sees it as a get rich quick type of thing, which
Yeah.
really not that.
Yep. I mean, the reason why I started doing PlayStation content is because I play the games, and trust me, like the experiences that I'm having on that platform is God of War, for example, is my favorite game of all time. And plain and simple, I played Bloodborne, I beat it. All these things you can see on my channel, like the things that I'm saying. Like I posted something about Splatoon on my Twitter. I play games because I'm a gamer, and no matter how many times you try to tell people that, they still formulate their own opinions. Like if a game's on a toaster and I like it and it plays good, I'll play it, you know? So I'm not locked down on one platform or represent one brand. I just, you know, it is what it is. So
Yeah.
I did start off as an Xbox channel because that's all I had, you know? And then I got a Switch, and then I got a PlayStation, and you know, things change, people change, but there's lots of people out there in the community on Twitter that are fake, and in YouTube they do it for views, and that's just not what I'm doing, you know. So it's just not me.
It's kind of funny that you know, you are a very genuine individual, and it makes me laugh because your Twitter handle is Saltiest Gaming. It's which you think would make you want to ruffle people's feathers, but at the same time you're not. You're even keeled always.
Yeah, well, here's the deal. Like, I understand it's just a natural thing. Like, if you're a genuine person, trust me, people are not going to like you. They won't. People like to hear fake things. Trust me, they want to hear what they want to hear. Like I said, I can't beat this drum enough. People will tell you everything. If someone tells you everything that you want to hear 100% of the time, they're fake. Trust me, because you need criticism in your life, right? You need to hear something like in order to grow as a person or an individual. You need to hear some of that stuff that you don't want to hear, you know? So that's just my personal take on it. But like I said, I know myself as a person, it ruffles people's feathers. I get it. Not everybody likes everybody, and that's cool, man. It's understandable, you know? So
right. Elle, did you have any more that you were thinking of?
No, that was one that I typed out earlier. I want to make sure I asked.
Yeah, I actually started. I actually have like a notepad right here, and I actually write notes now, because when we have guests, because I know that I'm gonna forget if I don't ask. I actually had one question before our final question. What your channel? It almost had like a boom.
Yeah.
That happened like overnight. What do you think what do you think helped you to do that little boom that you had? Because if you look at like your old content, like back in the day, you know, you had pretty standard numbers, and now you have over the standard numbers. So what do you think can contest to that?
All right, so I was actually thinking about making videos on this, so I'm so stoked that we're doing this interview, honestly, because it lets me talk about the shit that I've been wanting to talk about to people, because I know people ask these questions about growing and everything. I've watched a ridiculous amount of videos on everything YouTube. Like, you're talking about algorithm, there's so much that goes into it, man.
Yeah.
And I still don't think that I understand what's going on, to be honest with you guys. You know, like you could look at your analytics, and half the time I'm questioning, you know, it's this robot in the sky. Like, I'm putting my content in, I'm putting my work in, and I feel like a video that I put 100% effort into, which I do, and I feel like it's going to be great, it just tanks. In my opinion, it takes, right? And then I get depressed about that, or I feel bad about it. And then another time you put out a video that you didn't even think that you were going to put out, and then it explodes, right?
Right.
I don't know, like, it's hard work. It's not like it's making videos when you feel like you're down on making videos, you know? Like, there's been times where I've been wanting to stop doing content because I feel like I'm not getting the views that I feel like I need to get. But it's just perseverance, man, honestly. And it's making my content better, and not saying, hey, I'm fine with what I'm doing. It's like, I want to do better. I want to make my audio better, right? So I got what did I get? I got different programs, right? I got Audacity, which is an audio editing program. So I'll record takes and then I'll take the ums out or the likes or the breathing. That's small little things, but trust me, it goes a long way with videos. And then with I went from 720p to 1080p videos for gameplay. That's a small thing, but
It's huge.
I think it's bigger, right? And then my thumbnails, try to get them better.
Yeah.
Trying to optimize my titles, trying to learn the algorithms and the changes there. That's everything that I'm trying to make my videos longer and better quality. All that stuff I think helps.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's like flipping a coin up when you post these videos. Because trust me, there's times where my videos tank, and I'm just like, wow, dude, like what did I do wrong? You know? But sometimes it's not. It's most of the time it's not your fault. Trust me, YouTube's just a strange
YouTube being YouTube.
thing, you know.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a great answer to that. You know, it's a collaboration of a bunch of different things that just help you push you forward, and that's what everyone really needs to do. They really need to see what they like, you know, where they're lacking, and then just push forward and be better. Like there's no reason to be complacent on where you are. You can always make yourself better.
Yeah, don't be complacent in your content.
Yes,
it's
exactly what it is. Exactly. So, you're gonna answer that question that barbecue sauce asked you?
Yeah, ASMR. I never heard that before, but
really?
I know what ASMR is, but I don't know why I would do it. I have a good quality mic now. I mean, but
I don't know why. I don't know why anyone would do it either.
What are you talking about?
Isn't that where they're like rubbing on their mic and like?
Well, they're not. Well, I guess some people
like
are rubbing on their mic, but
speaking
like
speaking slow or like
Yeah.
touching different
It's an
tactical
audio
things.
thing.
Yeah, it's an audio stimulation or something like that.
My brother said he read a creepy article that someone said that they listened to a specific streamer that did ASMR, and it was the best night's sleep they ever got. And I'm like,
it's cool, man.
Creepy a little bit.
No, I've listened to those streams. If you get a good headset, it's unique experience, but
it's wild. Like my daughter's already into that kind of, just because she likes listening to like people squish slime or pop things, and I'm just like, she's like, you hear that? It's like so satisfying. I'm like, what do you even know about that?
That's weird. That is very weird. Salty, I'm gonna ask you our final question, if you will. If you could live in one video game or fantasy environment, what would it be? Meaning Star Wars, Harry Potter. It could be a book. It could be a movie. It could be an anime. Any of that stuff.
You know my answer, dude.
I know your answer, but I have to ask
Star Wars,
it.
baby.
Star Wars.
Star Wars. Give me a lightsaber and get out of my way.
I will chop you in half.
Give me those force powers. Let me live in that. Yeah, dude. Star Wars.
It's fantastic. It's a great world. I love that place.
Yep.
And they have it in Florida and in California.
Dude, I need to make my way over there, dude.
Now, you live closer to which?
I'm in Arizona, so we're about 6 hours from LA.
Oh,
so honestly, it would be easy to get over there, but it's a money thing, and it's like I have kids. Like,
it's not cheap. Like it's like $200.
Yep.
But I wish I was still over there, because I bring in whoever I can on the military discount, because that shit's crazy.
Yo, my friend Shameless, his sister was working there, and he got in for free. So him and his wife were going like every weekend. I was like, holy shit. You know?
People who work for CBS, no matter what you do. Like there was my sister knows a girl who like does the tapes and crap, you know, like almost like rewinding tape and stuff, you know, for CBS, and she has a card that allows her to get into, you know, Disneyland, and she has to bring like 5 people with her every time.
What?
Yeah.
I want to be your friend.
It's a perk. It's a perk to working for them. So it doesn't matter where you work, as long as you work for Disney conglomerate.
I want to be your
Yep.
friend. I want to get into Disney
Right.
for free. I love that place. The place
Yeah, I'm
is-
trying to get one of those virtual jobs.
yes. I will be a customer service representative for my home. I don't mind. So, well, fantastic. Well, I had a fantastic time. I hope you did too, Salty. Why don't you tell everyone your your plugs, where we can find you, your dates, your times, where all that fun stuff.
So first place is Twitter, Saltiest Gaming, the eyes of one. Hopefully that will be changing shortly. Might be getting the actual name without the one, hopefully shortly. What else? Twitch, trying to push that a lot. Twitch.tv/Saltiest Gaming, and then YouTube, Saltiest Gaming, 2 words. Saltiest Gaming podcast every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. So that's it.
It's fantastic. That's great. And I like I was saying before, I was actually on the podcast with the guys last week, 2 weeks ago. Last week was Thanksgiving, and I had a blast. It's a lot of fun. It's great content, great conversation. If you guys have time on Thursday nights, go over there, check them out. They're great. They're good.
Yes, sir.
Yes, they are. Go check them out. Senor MJ.
You can find me on Twitch at MJ is the boss.
And you
I'll be back soon.
Yes, when are you coming back? As soon as you go back home for winter recess?
Yeah, probably.
Awesome. That's great. And it's figure 3 weeks? 4 weeks?
Yep, I think 3 or 4.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure I get you back on Twitch before Christmas time. El Boogie, how about yourself?
You can find me at elboogie0208 on Twitter and on Mixer and even on YouTube, even though I don't post there.
Okay.
Oh, and I'm there on Mixer weekdays, Tuesday through Friday, around 6:30 to 7 p.m., depending on if kids get their homework done.
Get your homework done, kids, soon.
Right.
I want to play video games.
Basically.
Yes. Well, I'm happy that you're able to get back on your schedule. I'm happy that the family is back together and everything is well. And myself, I am Snaldo. That is SNALYDO. I am on Twitch Monday through Friday, 7 to 10, unless I am here. You sometimes a little later. As of late, it's been a little later. Iron Lords podcast, guys, go check those guys out on Sundays at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. They're doing some great work there. Please check out lordsofgaming.net. We have a lot of amazing content there. Check out Old School Style. He is out right now. Check him out on Twitter, Old School Tuck Talk. He's got his YouTube channel, a lot of tech stuff going on. We here are the Roundtable with the Stream Team. We're here live Mondays on the YouTube channel with under the Iron Lords podcast with these guys. We go with our podcast on multiple different platforms on Wednesday mornings when you guys wake up. So go ahead and follow us on Table Stream on Twitter. We will give you posted notifications of who our guests are, when things are going on, and things like that. Next week is we're going to be having someone on Tuesday. We have Anchorman who's on Tuesdays. We wanted to make sure we got him in this year, and it was his only day to do it, so we kind of did that. So please check us out next week. I think, and if you have any questions for anyone, please email us at roundtablestreamteam@gmail.com. We have that email available for everyone, and greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much for hanging out. Salty, thank you for dropping some knowledge on us. I greatly appreciate it. You're awesome.
Hey, no problem.
Thank you very much. And remember, everyone, to dream big and keep gaming, and we will see you next week. Bye, everybody.